the bulletin tonight. DCI sleuths or sleuths, that is S-L-E-U-T-H-S. Willis, how do you pronounce that word?
Betty, that word for detective or detectives, when you are talking about the plural form, it has two acceptable pronunciations, what we call the alternative soundings. One, sleuth, sleuth. Then you can also say sleuth. So sleuth or sleuth are acceptable, just like issue or issue.
Okay.
You get it right?
Yes, yes. Okay, Willis, thank you for that. I was not sure if I pronounced it the right way, but seems like I actually did. But thank you for that, Willis.
It happens. It happens.
Okay, Willis, let's move on to the first words that I have before we get to the test your tongue word. And for me, the one that I have first is this one, S-T-A-D-I-A. Do we say stadia? Do we say stadia? How do we go about that one?
Oh, you're talking about the plural of stadium, and you say stadia. Now, when we see the spelling, we find ourselves saying stadia. But please, the first A takes its name as the sound, so you say stadia. Okay. Remember, we can also say stadiums when we are talking about the alternative plural of stadium.
Okay. All right, Willis. What about, you know, I've also had stadium. Is that the correct pronunciation? I've had that so many times. Stadium, you know.
Betty, English is a bit tricky, but if we get the right guidance, we can always get the things right. Now, you say stadium. Okay. Stadium, not stadium, and not stadium. Stadium.
Okay, Willis, got you. Moving on to this other word, let me pronounce it for you. T-A-M-P-E-R. Willis, how do we go about that one?
Oh, you've spelled it. That is, you say tamper, to interfere with something. Yes. You say to tamper with something. Tamper, not temper. Temper is T-E-M-P-E-R. Temper. So and so's temper, or to temper something, Betty.
Okay, got it. Willis, moving on to this other word. Yes. It's so long. So is it lackadaisical or do you say lackadaisical?
Oh.
Yeah, how do we go about that one, Willis?
Betty, that is a very common word sometimes for those who want to sound big. So, but I'm not saying everyone. Some of those who want to sound big when speaking English really love such a word. But you say lackadaisical, lackadaisical, lackadaisical. So in running, you say lackadaisical.
Okay, got it, Willis. Yeah. I mean, I've not used that word in a long time, but now that I know what it means and how to pronounce it, probably I'll start using it, Willis. Okay. So, Willis, let's go to your collections of the week. I'm sure I've seen on X so much interaction with people asking this and that. What words do you have for us tonight?
Yes, Sami Mother from Muranga, you say nostalgia. Nostalgia. Don't say nostalgia. Nostalgia, no. Nostalgia, and you have nausea. Then we have Victor Mandela. Victor Mandela, you say flourish, not flourish. To flourish. Then your second word, it's very tricky. You say edema. Edema, just like Oedipus complex, not Oedipus complex. Oedema, no. Edema. Then we have Titus Bravo of Bahati Nakuru. You say coupon, and your second word, couple. Coupon and couple. So the next person is Collins Omwange and Eric Kenyanya of Kisii. Now, in British English, you say router for that computing term. Router. Router. But in American English, we have router. Router. Zakina Denje and Mary Lumbwa of Kongowea, Mombasa. Now, that word, I don't like it, but I'll give you the pronunciation. Don't say scoundrel. There are people who like insulting others, and you hear scoundrel. You are not speaking English, and you've not insulted anyone. You may be innocently unaware that you have said nothing. When you say scoundrel or scoundrel, it's scoundrel. Scoundrel. Now, we have Malachi Wafula of Kakamega. You say August for that month. August, not August. Then the name is Augustine. Augustine so and so, not Augustine. Augustine, common but wrong. August, common but wrong. The month, August. The name, Augustine. Now, let's go to that word for testing our tongues. Betty, this word is very long. And we're talking about heating milk or any other liquid, and then it goes to some temperature, then it's cooled again to kill the harmful bacteria. Now, in this case, you say pasteurization, pasteurization, or you can also say pasture, pasta or pasteurization. So we should get it right. Now, when you come to our surprise word for tonight, which you hinted on, it's right here. And I know it's a tricky one because many people find themselves saying obvious. That is obvious. And sometimes we say it so confidently without knowing that the B is not silent. You say obvious. Obvious. That is why it is our surprise word for tonight. But as I always say, let English be English, though nobody in this world can be perfect, Betty. But we should never be too confident about what we say before we check.
Willis, thank you for that. You know, it's the word, it's not obvious, you know, that people know it. So it's actually a surprise. It's a surprise tonight, also a surprise to me. I didn't know.
Obvious.
Okay. I didn't know the B is actually supposed to be heard. So it's obvious. It's obvious.
Yes.
Okay, got it, Willis. Thank you for that. And also the scoundrel. It's funny that you say if you want to insult somebody and you're mispronouncing the name. Haujafanya ini chochote yani.
It happens, Betty. It happens to many people.
Yeah.
You're very busy, you are shooting a word at somebody, but you don't know that you are innocently ignorant. When I say innocently ignorant, it's just saying that somebody is not aware that what you think is right is wrong.
Okay. Thank you very much, Willis. Well, I'm looking forward to next week's lesson. Thank you for your time tonight and for teaching us that it's not obvious, but it's obvious. Thank you, Willis, for that. Willis Ocheng there joining us from Kisii County. And of course, you can talk to him on his X handle at Willis Ocheng1, and you can ask him all the words that you'd want to know when it comes to pronunciation. Thank you, Willis, for that. All right, so that is which is which. We now want to cross over and have our conversation for tonight, which of course, like I mentioned, is about the World AIDS Day commemoration on the 1st of December.